What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode
Welcome,
of the
welcome.
critically acclaimed No Look podcast. It's your man, goddamn T Hayes, with your
Y-
boy Yo Soy, ACWeezy.
Come
I
on
said it
now.
for you.
Come on now. I was like, is he gonna say it for me? Does he want me to say it? I was ready, but yeah, we're back in our own domiciles, right? Last week we had it in the new 9,000 square foot streaming
9,000.
slash retail slash pickleball court, whatever Dan's got going on that day of the week. Went well, Tyler. Did you watch it back at all, that last week's episode?
Yeah, I watched it back. Enjoyed it. Wish I could do it every week. Unfortunately, I'm about 1,200 miles away, so unfortunately I can't. But good news for I don't know if you saw. Dan built his own table. So there's a new podcast table.
Hmm.
It's being stained as we speak, I believe. Uh,
So is
Dan
that
sent me
is that replacing the one that we were sitting at last week with all the cracks and dangerous little caveats to it?
at any given point you could get a blister. Yes, that one. I told Dan I wanted to hang myself from the rafters and jump off. Let me finish the sentence. He
Okay.
threw me the
Right.
middle of the table like old school WWE, but he wouldn't let it
Uh,
happen. So, plus I don't have insurance at the moment, so that wouldn't have been great either. But
I just got insurance starting back this month, so
oh,
all
congrats!
all's good. Maybe I'll jump through the fucking table then, man. Come on, I got a cheap copay now. So last week, Tyler, we made some predictions, right? Week 17. How do you think we did? I mean, of course, you gotta probably remember off the top of your head some games we picked.
Well, I know this. My ship pumping game of the week is. I don't think I've won a single ship pumping game of the week, if we're being honest. Next year we're gonna have to track every single record for sure. I
I
want
mean, you just spoke that into existence. You said on the show, I don't remember the last time that I won a ship pumping game. Of course, what
exactly.
happens?
Play that back. I lost. I
Yeah.
got absolutely wrecked. My ship pumping game should have been the obvious Ravens game,
Hmm.
but either
Mm-hmm.
way, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. That's what they say.
So how do you think we did record wise?
I think, if I'm being honest, I think you squeaked out like one game on me.
Okay. So overall, collectively, Tyler and I did pretty well. One of us went 13-3, and the other went 14-2.
Oh, I told you one game.
Tyler called that I squeaked out a game on him when in contrary he actually squeaked out a game on me. Tyler, we picked a lot of the same games and a lot of them were kind of clear victories. Obviously, we both scored pretty good records. Um, so let's see. You called the Browns over me. I called the Pats over you. You got the Cowboys over me, and then I got the Rams over you. Guess what your winning game was?
The Giants won.
Yep, I said yeah.
Yeah.
I said you got the Giants
Oh,
over
the
me.
the Redskins or the Washington
No, we
Aardvarks, I
both
should say.
picked that. You went with the Las Vegas
Oh, the
Raiders.
Dolphins. No.
You went with the Las Vegas Raiders. I went with the Broncos. So by 1 point, Tyler, you beat me by one game in
Let's
this
uh, let's
prediction.
remember that whole entire scenario. By the way, I do believe so. You said, "This is my shit pumping game of the week." Brock was by a million.
Dude, I thought they had the revenge game on the Raiders. I don't know,
Almost.
whatever. No one else can say shit pumping game of the week because it just ends in a catastrophe and doesn't work out for you. But
Might I
yeah,
add? Might I
yeah.
add? Darren Waller, best tight end in the league, scored the game-winning touchdown, game-winning two-point conversion. Just further proves my point of his dominance this year. Although I must say so, before you do even say one word, yes, Travis Kelce was second most in receiving yards this season. Oh well.
And the whole NFL, including obviously wide receivers, which is an incredible stat if you ask me, but yet Tyler still thinks that Darren Waller is the best tight end in the NFL.
If he played in the Chiefs offense, it might be a different story.
Hypotheticals, hypotheticals, hypotheticals. Well, Tyler, we had good weeks last week. This week we got the playoffs coming up. How did they coin it? The Super Wild Card Weekend. Still there, T? We got 'em a little frozen. Hold up. Technical difficulties. Mondo's got to get off the Wi-Fi. Oh boy. T.
Did I lose you?
T. All right, we're back now.
I'm back. I'm back.
Tell
Oh my God,
Mondo
what
get off Netflix.
Oh, I was on P-Hub. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, God damn it. Using up all the fucking bandwidth. With that being said, we had good weeks last week. This week, we got the playoffs coming up, which I was just saying when you were cutting out. Would they coin it the Super Wild Card Weekend?
Yes.
Or something of that nature, because we're getting an extra 4 games, right? Hold on, so let me do the math. Before
there's two buys.
Usually there's 8 teams playing. Now we get 12 teams playing.
Right.
So that's an extra 4 teams. So 2 games. Two games. Obviously the Packers, Green Bay Packers, right? The team that I own and am a fan of. And the Kansas City Chiefs are on a bye this week. But with that being said, we do have some good matchups to talk about. We got the Colts versus the Bills. I'm looking forward to that one for sure. That kicks off the wild card weekend at 1 on Saturday, followed up by the Rams Seahawks, Buccaneers Washington football team, the night game to end up the triple header on Saturday. Then we got the Ravens Titans, rematch from last year, Bears Saints, and Browns Steelers. So we'll start off with it, Tyler. Maybe my favorite game of the weekend. They're just going to inject it right into my bloodstream, right? First game of the wild card weekend. Oh, yeah, all day on paper. Colts versus Bills. Obviously, the Colts got in the wild card. Bills got the division, but I just think on paper, these are the 2 strongest teams in a matchup.
I mean, I agree. It's definitely a game. It's one of the best games all weekend. It's not my favorite game. Per se, but I think it's going to be an electric game. Part of me wants to reach on the shelf, dust off the old shit pumping game of the week, but I think I need to retire that for the season, because I don't know if you saw, there was a video that the Bills released of Josh Allen dancing on the field and doing a lot of hip thrusting.
Mm-hmm.
I think this guy's ready to absolutely torch the Colts defense, and I just don't think that Phillip Rivers is a playoff quarterback.
I agree with you, Tyler. Last year, when I gave my formulas for NFL success in the playoffs, I said you needed a little bit of veteran status, you needed some experience. I said the Bills didn't have that. What happens? They get beat by the Houston Texans. This year, Tyler, however, they have some more experience. Josh Allen has another year under his belt. He's playing phenomenal ball. I think that defense is strong. They got the home field advantage, which I do think plays a factor into it. Stephon Diggs has been balling out like crazy. They got a good double-headed rushing attack with Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. It's a well-rounded machine, Tyler, well-oiled, and I think they come out and get the dub.
Plus, you can't forget, New York allows 6,700 people in Ralph. Is it still Ralph Stadium?
Wilson, I think.
Ralph Wilson, yeah, including Andrew Cuomo, your governor.
Oh, he's going?
I heard that he was going.
they might try to put him through a table, but yeah, Tyler, that's another entity to that where, I mean, you heard guys talk about it all year long, right? You kind of feed off the crowd, right? You get that advantage with the home team, the noise, the opposing team, the away team has the ball. They're making it hard for them to get that hard count. I think that plays a factor in. Phillip Rivers, the Colts have been up and down all season. I don't think they get it, but let me just say, Jonathan Taylor is the real deal, man. I thought he was going to be the best running back in that draft class. He kind of slipped a little further down because, I don't know, he had a down year or something.
Because he fumbled a lot.
Yeah, he fumbled a lot. Dude went for almost 200 last week, 2 touchdowns. He's going to have a bright future. But this weekend, let's go Buffalo, because no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I believe the Bills come out on top. Moving into the next game, Tyler.
Do I even get to pick?
Oh, I thought you said it. Didn't you just say? Didn't you just say it with the fans and Cuomo? And I thought you made a pick in there. God damn it! I'm on the wagon. I'm on a roll.
I did say though that I would take this as the shit pumping game of the week.
Mhm.
But as much as I hate agreeing with you, I'm gonna have to agree with you here. Buffalo wins. Jonathan Taylor gets held to 50 rushing yards. Phillip
Ooh.
Rivers probably gets sacked about 4 to 5 times. 3 interceptions, 260 yards. Incredible outing by the Buffalo Bill defense, absolutely shutting them down. Maybe it snows, maybe it doesn't, but the cold is just too much for this weekend Colts team this week.
Yeah,
Go Bills!
let's go Bills, let's go Buffalo. Colts are used to playing inside in a dome, right? So we'll see how that affects them. The next game, we got the Rams versus Seahawks. Obviously, Seahawks at home.
Can I
What do
say
you,
this?
what do you think about this game, Tyler? I'll let you go first this time, so I don't cut you off.
I hate this game. this
It's
is my this is my least favorite game of the weekend.
a
And
divisional matchup. They've already played twice this year. Like, come on, third time's a charm.
well, I mean, didn't the Steelers and Browns play twice, including last week?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Every time the Rams and Seahawks play, it's like a baseball score, like 16-12, or like
Mm.
uh, a low scoring game. Yeah, their defenses are both great, or Seahawks is iffy, but I just feel like I can't put my thumb on who I want to win because I know if I say the Rams, the Seahawks are just gonna go ballistic like they've been doing like earlier in the season. But I know if I say the Seahawks, they're gonna drop a dud just like they have been in the latter part of the season.
Hmm.
So, like one of my favorite players in the NFL history says, Ray Lewis, defense wins championships. I'm going with the Rams in an upset
Ooh.
at CenturyLink Field. Aaron Donald, who is not the quarterback, like I said
No.
last week of the the Cardinals, or the Jets, I think. I think they come out, they show out, and they beat the Seahawks.
Oh, as much as I would love to agree with you, Tyler, and you know very well my hatred, my newfound hatred for the Seattle Seahawks, I can't go against them. Russell Wilson in the playoffs, my baby DK, swag out. I don't know. I will say it will be a big deciding factor if Jamal Adams can play or not. I'm not sure what his status is. He was
I didn't even
hurt.
think about this. Is Jared Goff playing this week?
They're saying he looks good throwing the ball in practice right now, but there's no guarantees. That is another deciding factor. But Seahawks playoffs, I don't know. Has Russell Wilson ever been bounced out in the first playoff game of the
Well,
year? I feel like that's a stat that I can,
here's
without even seeing, know.
here's another stat for you. This is the first time in Tom Brady's history he's played in the wild card. So
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
year of firsts.
You're first.
Russell Wilson is bound to lose.
In the words of Drizzy Drake, when's the last time you did something for the first time? But with that being said, Seahawks, I feel like they're going to win this game. I do agree, though, Tyler. Every time these two match up, it is a very low-scoring game. Rams, you might give them the edge on the defense, like you're trying to, make that standpoint. But I feel like Seahawks just have a little bit better offense to
Well,
get
let me
them
ask you
the
this.
12 as opposed to the 9.
Let me ask you this. So they played twice this season, right?
Yep.
How did Jalen Ramsey match up to DK?
He shut him down pretty well. But then you just toss it up to Tyler Lockett. I mean,
Right.
you got that in your back
That's
pocket.
the biggest matchup this weekend is
Lock it in your pocket. Oh, sorry.
lock it in your pocket. Lock it like a pocket. Lock it. I think that's the biggest matchup though in this game, besides probably Aaron Donald versus Russell Wilson. But whether or not Metcalf is not going to be locked down by Ramsey,
Hmm.
what I've always found, whether it was playing or being a fan of the sport, is beating a team 3 times is tough.
Yeah.
Have the Seahawks beat them? They beat them twice this season.
I'm pretty positive, yeah. I
Beating
mean,
a team, we could look it up. Look it up. Because I don't want to say something and then they didn't actually beat them 3 times. But facing a team 3 times is even tough because you have all these different schemes. The teams know you inside and out. They've adjusted to every single run scheme, pass scheme, defensive schemes you have. So they know who you are inside and out better than you know who you are.
so they actually split this season. The Rams beat them in the first matchup 23-16, and then the Seahawks won the last matchup 20-9.
When was the last matchup?
It was Sunday 12/27, so December
Pretty
27th.
recent.
Yeah.
Pretty recent.
So that might give you a little bit better picture.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
This is just it's a terrible matchup. You don't know if Golf's playing, you don't know if Jamal Adams is playing. Both of these teams have been up and down all year long, like we've talked about on this show. Are the Rams for real? Like they're good one week, they're not good the other. I thought the Seahawks were good, and then they have a couple bad losses. I mean,
It's like
they lose to the Giants.
Right. There's so much up in the air with these two teams. Is the Seahawks defense going to play good this weekend? Is the Rams offense going to show out? I mean, is the Rams secondary going to play well against DK and Lockett? Is DK Metcalf going to get shut down to 5 yards like he did the first time? I think it's just there's so many different scenarios. You just don't know with this game. I'm glad that we're splitting it, though. Let me tell you that. If we were both agreeing on this and we both lost, I would be pissed. But we're splitting it, so one of us is bound to lose.
Right.
Hopefully it's you, for your sake. I mean,
honestly, I just set myself up for the perfect scenario. If I choose it right, then good on me. But if I choose it wrong, then the Seahawks are out of the playoffs, and I go to sleep within 30 minutes instead of an hour staring at the fucking ceiling like I normally do. All right, next game. I don't know what to make of this one. Prime time on Saturday night. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady's Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. I guess I'll start with this one, Tyler. I don't see this being close at all. Chase Young, you saw him last week saying, I want Tom. Well, you're going to get Tom. You're going to get a lot of them, and it's not going to be good for you, Chase. Which, might I add, and we'll get to later in the show if we have time for some NFL end of the season awards. Chase Young may be the defensive rookie of the year. Alex Smith should be the unanimous comeback player of the year, but it's just not going to be enough. Tom Brady's got too many weapons. I mean, everyone's been waiting from a fantasy standpoint. When's AB going to come on? Of course, it's week 17 when most fantasy leagues don't even play, right? He goes for 120 something, and I think he had 2 touchdowns. Anyways, they're just too loaded. They got a good rush attack defense. That's what I gotta say for that.
if I'm going to agree with you, Tampa Bay all the way. But if I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is a perfect opportunity for a tune-up game. For perhaps if they win, they might potentially face the Packers the following week. Correct?
Yep, unless the Rams or the Bears win.
Okay. We'll get to that. Great tune-up game for perhaps the Packers. You are going to absolutely need a great confidence booster in beating a team that won the NFC East. Whoop-de-doo. But you're going to absolutely throttle a decent Washington defense, and your defense is going to come out and show out against an iffy kind of offense. Really get your guys boosted, motivated, ready to go for the next week. I think the Bucs defense is going to blitz like crazy. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Alex Smith. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Terry McLaurin. They're really going to shut down the offense, and that's honestly game over right there. But Brady, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't score 45 points this game.
Wow. So you're saying if you're a betting man, hammer the over in this game then, right?
I'm hammering the over. Historically, saying this and speaking it into existence, as Dana would say, probably not the best thing for me, but in my mind, my gut, my heart, everything is saying the Bucs, there's no reason why they don't score 45 points in this game.
Mind, soul, and body. Shout out Dana. I will be seeing you tomorrow at 4 p.m. The next game kicking off Sunday, the first of the triple header on Sunday, we have the Baltimore Ravens versus Tennessee Titans. Now, Tyler, I'll let you kick this one off. Just a little preface, a little role reversal this year, whereas the Ravens were the higher seed last year. Tennessee Titans came in and upset them. Now the Titans have the home field advantage. Ravens are on the road. What do you have this game?
So, you know how you were saying you stared at the ceiling for an hour, when the Seahawks won? This was a game last night when I was looking at the schedule. I was really looking at this game for a long time. Dude, I really hate the Titans. I really hate the Titans.
I know. If you watch the No Look podcast, they know that you hate the Titans.
The Ravens, though, they're that team this year that's like, You can't. They're kind of like the Rams versus the Seahawks. You really just can't put your thumb on it. Are you gonna get Lamar Jackson that's gonna play? Or are you gonna get a defense that swallows him up? My gut, my heart says the Ravens, of course, but my gut says the Titans. I have to go with the Titans on this one. Historically, the Titans are just too good. It's like the Titans have the Ravens number. If I was a Titans fan, which I'm the furthest thing from, obviously, I would be praying for this matchup in the playoffs because I know that the Titans are absolutely going to throttle the Ravens this weekend. I think at home, Derrick Henry's playing out of his fucking mind. The guy has like 200 yards in the last 5 games consistently. Their defense is playing decent. I just don't think the Ravens have a shot.
My mind is telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. Wow, sorry. Just when you said your gut, and then your mind, just thought of that.
It's necessary.
Yeah, I had to hit that one time. Excuse me. Whoa, Tyler. Wow. Okay, so Tyler, known Titans hater, going with them. I actually like the Titans. I like Derrick Henry, as you know, in our fantasy group chat. I'm kind of on Nate's side, saying Derrick Henry is the better running back, whereas you and Ben pick Alvin Kamara. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's not, because we'll talk about Alvin Kamara next.
Yeah, we could get into that. But, Tyler, you don't know which Lamar Jackson you're getting. I know which Lamar Jackson you're getting. The same guy you've gotten the past 2 weeks. The same guy that's rushed for 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons for a quarterback that's absolutely unheard of. The Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens, are getting hot at the right time. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, who the fuck knows who's running the ball, but they're going to run for a lot of yards and they're going to get a lot of touchdowns. Shit, Lamar Jackson might even have the most rush yards, but they're probably going to get 300 combined between the 4 of them. I mean, Hollywood Brown had himself a good game last week, yes, against the Bengals, I understand. The defense is strong. Teams with experience, now you're saying, all right, Lamar Jackson, he's a younger quarterback. J.K. Dobbins, he is a rookie. But when you got Jim Harbaugh at the helm, the guy's been there before. He knows what he's doing. I think the Ravens come in and get a little payback on the Titans.
But Vrabel's been there
John
too.
Harbaugh, excuse me.
Vrabel has been, he was in the championship last year, and he's a young coach. I mean, he knows all the decisions to make to get to the promised land. Nobody's beating the Chiefs this year. I mean, we know that. Nobody's beating the Chiefs and going to the Super Bowl. That's just not happening. That's preposterous. But he knows how to beat the Ravens. Vrabel does. He has a veteran at quarterback, Tannehill, who is absolutely, like, if there was a puzzle piece for the Titans offense, that is Ryan Tannehill. He is a perfect fit. But you're telling me, you're coming into my Skype screen,
yes,
and you're telling me that Derrick Henry is not going to rush for more yards than Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, I don't know that I'm saying that, but can I say the Ravens will have more rush yards than Titans? Is that fair or no?
That's fair, but you're still telling me that that's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you saw what happened against the Packers, they completely bottled him up. Yeah, he went for, almost 200 last week, broke, 2,000 yards rushing. He's a beast. I love the guy. I'm sitting here saying, I'm a big fan of Derrick Henry. But without that 70-yard rush, he has an average Derrick Henry day, $120. I just feel like
he had 200.
Yeah, but they almost lost the game. I'm just saying.
Well, who'd they face?
The Texans.
Texans, who is a decent team.
No, stop. Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
Listen, they're coming off that inspirational J.J. Watt for the fans. Deshaun Watson has to show out to be the number 1 passing quarterback, so he gets an extra boost in his contract, especially coming up. All the teams want him. We can get into that later. They faced the Texans where the Ravens faced the Bengals. I think the Texans are a much harder team to face, especially in division, than the Bengals.
I might agree with you. I mean, obviously there's some injuries that play into that. So the Ravens, yes, they didn't just beat the Bengals, they shit pumped the Bengals, but they also beat the Giants, who beat the Cowboys last week and also beat the Seahawks a couple weeks ago. They stomped on the Jaguars. They beat the Browns, who just beat the Steelers.
We can't play 6 cents.
They just beat the I mean, I'm just saying they're coming in hot.
By you saying that, you're saying that the Raiders technically are the best team in the league because they beat the Chiefs. You know,
I'm just showing you right here, like, they're coming into this game. The Titans are almost coming into this game on a 2-game losing streak. But before you interrupt me and before I forget what's in my head, you said Vrabel has been there before last year. Tyler, have you ever heard of beginner's luck? Because I feel like that's what Vrabel and the Titans had last year. You know, his first year coaching, right? Or was it his second?
I think it was second.
Okay. Anyways, within his first 2 seasons,
first time in the playoffs.
First time in the playoffs, it's like your friend, you know, diehard gambler, right? And then you come in and you bet on teams based on their jersey colors because you like the colors of one team, and you end up making $100 more, and he's, you know, owes his bookie his whole fucking life. I feel like that's what happened to Vrabel and the Titans last year. They got a little lucky. They just rode the hot hand with Henry, who went beast mode. This year, I feel like experience and a more well-rounded team comes out victorious.
That being said, then wouldn't John Harbaugh have beginner's luck? I mean, he went to the Super Bowl only once. He hasn't been back yet.
No, you could definitely say that, and that's what I'm not. And that's kind of even enforces what I'm saying. I think Vrabel will be a great coach. I think the Titans will be back and potentially win a Super Bowl. But with that being said, Harbaugh and the Ravens have also been perennial playoff, you know, a playoff team every year. I don't know. I feel like they've proven themselves and they're hot at the right time. That's all I have to say.
So you got the Ravens. I got the Titans.
Yeah.
We'll see who gets this win. I think I got it on lock. I mean, pull up the picture of Derrick Henry stiff-arming the shit out of that Ravens guy. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we'll see. I like how we have a lot of opposite picks for this matchup. So no one's, you know, one of us is going to be a lot better off than the other, and I'm hoping it's me.
Or we might be even.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, fuck me. I'm trying to look at it goddamn positive, this situation. Anyways, Bears versus Saints, Tyler. This should be an easy game to pick, right? We got the Saints that have been hot all year. They win without Drew Brees. The Bears barely clawed their way, right? The Bears claw. Okay, anyways, barely clawed their way into the playoffs, coming in on a loss. But Tyler, as we talk about Dana and we talk about speaking things into existence, we just said, what happens if the Bucs win and most likely the Rams and the Bears lose? The Buccaneers go into Lambeau and it's Brady versus Rodgers in the divisional round. But
before you say anything,
what?
Earlier podcast, March last year or April, we said Brady Rodgers playoffs.
Right? No. We said Brady's Rodgers NFC Championship. So what has to happen for that to come to fruition, Tyler? The Rams or the Bears have to win. I'm tossing and turning, even though I wasn't sleeping. It was kind of earlier today when I was just thinking what pick I wanted to make. Anyways, I can't trust the fucking Rams. I like the Seahawks in the playoffs. The Saints are a great team, but I just feel like the Bears and that defense, they might get lucky. Khalil Mack could go beast mode. Mitch Trubisky's going to win a playoff game for the Bears, and guess what happens? They re-sign him to a monster contract, and he does shit for the rest of his career. Typical Bears. I'm speaking this game into existence. The Bears, who I fucking hate. The oldest rivals in the NFL. The Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears. But they're going to come in to New Orleans, and they're going to say, who dat? Bears in this one.
Wow, that was inspiring.
Thanks. That was my Braveheart.
That was beautiful. Too bad. What's gonna happen is my Rams are gonna beat the Seahawks, and the Saints are gonna come marching in like they typically do and absolutely throttle. That's my word of the week, throttle. You can use that on your girl. Just be like, I'm gonna throttle the accelerator. You know. Oh. But I think the Saints are coming in throttling the Bears. It's not even going to be a matchup. Alvin Kamara, with or without him, they're saying he might play. They're saying he might not. Michael Thomas saying he might play, saying he might. It doesn't matter. Saints too good. They always lose in the NFC Championship or closer to it, so they got to at least get this one win. This is a perfect one. Saints over the Bears, easy matchup. Drew Brees continuing on.
See, I know you just pretty decisively said continuing on, but I just gotta go back for 1 second. I wanna say that also is part of my reasoning behind this game. Everyone's thinking this could be Drew Brees' final season. I think if the Saints go to the NFC Championship game, he may think, that's probably the best I'm gonna do late in my career. But if they get bounced in the first round of the playoffs, I feel like he has a little bit of unfinished business to do. He pulls a Tom Brady, goes somewhere else, and has a good season like Thomas having. So that also kind of factored into my decision of this pick.
I personally think this should be his last year. And the reason why I'm saying this from a healthy standpoint is the dude just had like 18 broken ribs. Yeah. He should seriously consider hanging the cleats up. Whatever happens this season happens. If the Saints win, okay, let me put this into perspective. If the Saints win and the Bucks win, do they play each other next week?
Well, depends on what the Rams do.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the Bucks face the Saints one more time, and the Bucks finally beat the Saints because that has been the Bucks' kryptonite all year. I think that's going to happen. I think it's going to play out as one of the best primetime playoff games this postseason. I just think it's time to hang it up, man. You lost. You're not going to beat Brady in any of the stats. You'll be lucky if you get to the Super Bowl this year. Your body's deteriorating on you. It's just time to hang it up. Let someone else take the helm at the Saints. And I'm hoping, like we said in our group chat today, that's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, no.
Sean in the gold black. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. I do have that on my notes, which I did pre-show. Right, did a little preparation.
What did you do pre-show?
I'm not gonna say everything I did, but Tyler, you actually just ahead of that. So Raven Vision. After I'm hearing you talk this words audibly out of your mouth into my ears. Yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen because then Brady versus Brees, and then the winner of that game is probably Brady versus Rodgers / Brees versus Rodgers. That's 100% what's going to happen. But I'm staying true to my word.
You said last year that the NFL is with the Illuminati. So
well, if that was the case, then 100th year Chiefs versus Packers for a Super Bowl, that's what would have happened. But I think someone in the Illuminati said, "Oh fuck, this guy ACWeezy on the No Look podcast and Saying Games TV, he's onto us, so we can't do that." Maybe this year, 101st year, I don't know.
101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, I like that. Good movie. Shout out Cruella de Vil's one time. The last game, the anchor, I guess you could say. Why they put this game in the primetime slot Sunday night, I don't even want to talk about it. It disgusts me. They played last week in a sloppy game. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger didn't play. Go ahead, Tyler. What do you got for this?
I mean, are we even going to have this game? I guess it's been the third straight day that the Browns facility has been shut down due to coronavirus. It's looking like every day that the game's not going to be played, but
maybe not on Sunday. I feel like they obviously have to play it at some point, but
right, maybe not on Sunday. But this is the more days that, don't call me a mathematician or anything, but the more days that you take off, the less successful you're going to be. So, I mean, it's just further and further going closer and closer to the Steelers winning. It's in Heinz Field. Ben Roethlisberger's back. I just don't see any possible way that the Steelers lose, especially coming off of a loss. Although, aren't they on a 4-game skid?
Are they on a 4-game skid? They actually are, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, that's not right. 1. No, they beat the Colts 2 weeks ago.
So they're on a three-game losing streak then.
No, 1.
1-game losing streak. Okay, not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, well, they would have been on a 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5 game losing streak if they didn't come back and beat the Colts. So
Right. What I was gonna say is, if that was to happen, fire Mike Tomlin. Just get rid of him. It's just horrendous,
wow.
egregious, disgusting. But they're not, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna go with the Steelers in this one. I think their defense is too strong. I think a lot of what happened last week was exactly what happened to the Chiefs last week, and they just didn't care. They already had their spot locked in. They couldn't go any higher. They couldn't go any lower. So they just were throwing players out there. I think they come in prepared. Mike Tomlin, future Hall of Famer, one of the best coaches of all time, is going to sit his team down and say, hey, listen, if we lose to the Browns 2 weeks in a row, half you guys aren't being re-signed. I'm dropping every single one of you. You're a disgrace. Disgusting. Egregious. It's a game that the Steelers shouldn't lose.
Yeah, I don't even have the energy to talk about this game, Tyler. The fact that they're playing each other back-to-back weeks.
When I saw that, I don't know why. Anytime I see, besides baseball, and that's talking baseball,
Yeah.
I get mad when teams play back-to-back. Like basketball, football, I get so upset. It's like they're lazy in scheduling. Like the Hawks, when I was up in New York, they played on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and then they were like, oh yeah, catch the Nets versus Hawks on Friday. And I'm like, who the hell put this schedule together?
Yeah. I was going to say like a baseball, doubleheader or series. Well, they play series, best 2 out of 3, right? But anyways,
doubleheaders piss me off. Like,
that's
you play
talking
in the
baseball.
day, and then you play at night. Like,
yeah,
how
it's just
can you be?
America. We're simple people, right? We want something new, exciting. You're gonna give us the same shit-stained game, no pun intended, with the Browns being involved in it. But yeah, like I said, I don't have the energy to discuss on this. The Steelers are gonna win handily, and the Browns are the Browns. That's all I have to say about that.
Even though Baker Mayfield clinched the game last week to come into the playoffs with that run, even though Nick Chubb is one of the best running backs in the league, even though the Browns defense and Myles Garrett's one of the leading sack leaders in the NFL, you're going to go with the Steelers at home with Big Ben, future Hall of Famer, 3-time or 2-time. Is he 2-time or 3-time Super Bowl champion? I want to say 2.
Definitely not 3. The Packers beat him in 1.
2-time Super Bowl
does he have
champion?
2? Yeah.
He beat the Cardinals. I know that.
Yeah.
In Tampa.
Well, you just like trying to stir the pot? What are you doing? This little skit here? Didn't you just pick the Steelers?
I'm just being dramatic. I just want to make sure that you are who you say you are.
Like I said, I have nothing to say on this matchup. But with that being said, talking about Baker Mayfield and I aforementioned Chase Young, Alex Smith. We do have some awards for the end of the season, Tyler. I think you and I are pretty dead set on Aaron Rodgers winning MVP.
Oh, 100%. Also, 51 touchdowns and 5 interceptions he finished with. Ungodly. I thought it was 50 that he was going for if he scored 6.
No, that's total touchdowns. He had 44 passing. So he had 7
total?
rushing. Yeah.
Oh. Even still, 51 and 5.
Yeah, it's
insane number.
That's crazy. So the next award we will discuss, the Offensive Player of the Year. I don't really get this, because wouldn't you think that the MVP is usually the quarterback, Offensive Player of the Year, but this is kind of where they give the runner-up, just like, hey, you did good this year as well, excuse me. I actually have Derrick Henry here. He rushed for 2,000 yards, was unstoppable. Obviously, Rodgers wins the MVP, so I don't think they would give him this award as well. But I have an honorable mention, Tyler, of Stephon Diggs. Dude went to Buffalo. I thought he would have been, pretty productive. He completely shocked me. He was the leading receiver this year, right?
Yes, he was.
And,
in front of Travis Kelce.
Yep. So he had a phenomenal year. Obviously, helped the Buffalo Bills, who are not done yet. I have him as an honorable mention.
Offensive Player of the Year obviously goes to Aaron Rodgers as well. My Honorable mention, if I would say so myself, is Darren Waller. Absolutely monster.
This
Crazy year
guy.
for the Raiders. Probably our MVP over Nelson Aguilar. Just he's the future. He's gonna
The
be
fact that
a
you gotta
Hall.
specify over Nelson Aguilar. Oh my
Nelson
god.
Aguilar, might I add, most receiving yards per reception. So, just saying,
Wait, the highest yards per catch, you're saying?
yards per catch. Yes,
No,
that's what I meant.
I think it's Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Nope, it's Nelson Aguilar.
I gotta look
Look
this
it up.
up. All right.
Okay, I'm talking about the stat where the average per catch and yards.
Yeah, it's yards per catch, I believe. Where is this? Yards per rush attempt.
Nope, we're not Russian.
I understand this. Thank you.
We are American. We are not Russian.
You bot. Why am I on rushing? I want receiving. All games. NFL.
Nelson Aguilar had a great year, might I add. Just saying.
Yards. Most yards per catch. 2020.
2021.
There we go.
Just kidding.
MVS had 20.9. Aguilar was in second with 18.7.
So did MVS like squeak by him? Because at one point Aguilar was in first, like week 16.
Probably. He had a 70-yard touchdown catch last week, so that probably put him ahead.
Either way. MVS playing with the best quarterback to ever live besides Brady. Aguilar.
But if Derek Carr would have been on the Packers and Darren Waller was on the Chiefs.
No. If Aaron Rodgers was on the Raiders, then Darren Waller would be the best tight end statistically, and Nelson Aguilar would have the most yards per reception.
Sure. And in the alternate universe, the upside down world, that's what's going on right now.
Well, I don't know if you know this. There is infinite universes. So in one of the universes, there is Aaron Rodgers on the Raiders with Darren Waller and Nelson Aguilar, where Darren Waller is the best tight end in the league statistically, and Nelson Aguilar has the most.
Oh my god, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
The fuck, we got Professor Xavier over here. I don't even know. Creating alternate universes.
I watch one Neil deGrasse Tyson TikTok.
Yeah, your fucking brain turns into the Milky Way. Oh my goodness. All right. So now we have Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's unanimous. Aaron Donald. I'm not sure.
I'm going T.J. Watt.
Okay, so I was gonna bring up the list. We got Aaron Donald, T.J. Watt. For whatever, this is like Sports Illustrated. People voted. They gave Donald 37 points, T.J. Watt 35 points. After that, it drops off. You got DeForest Buckner, Myles Garrett. So, yeah, it is close between the two of them.
I just think T.J. Watt had a better year than Aaron Donald. And I agree Aaron Donald is probably the best defensive player in the world. I just think that teams, they key him so much where earlier in the season they weren't keying T.J. Watt as much as they were Aaron Donald from the get-go. I think Aaron Donald's a better player than T.J. Watt. I just think statistically T.J. Watt had a better year. He was very dominant.
Yeah, he had 1.5 more sacks, so I guess if that's the sole stat they look at, then he would come out victorious. I feel like just overall impact of the game.
They also go off of tackles, total tackles, assisted and solo.
Well, let's see what we have.
Interceptions, fumbles, forced fumbles, shit like that.
And it was a strange.
T.J. Watt. Let's see, 2020 defensive total tackles. He only had 53. That seems quite low.
I mean, he is defensive lineman.
Let's see, total tackle 45 for Aaron Donald. Yeah, so you may be right there. But I mean, can I just say, still fanboying a little bit. He's not even on the Packers anymore, but I think every year Blake Martinez has started, he's been top 3 in total tackles. He finished 3rd again this year. Let's see. I think I just pulled it up.
I feel like total tackles really doesn't have a lot to do.
151, trailed only to Zach Cunningham and Jalen Smith.
I get that, but look at the two guys ahead of him. Jalen Smith plays for the Cowboys, not in the playoffs, not even a winning record, close to it. And then you got Cunningham, who's on the Texans, who won 4 games. That's exactly what I was saying before you told me who was first and second, is that I feel like total tackles has nothing to do with it, or impact of a game, because
So
you can play for.
so you're saying that, kind of worse teams, their defense is out in the field a lot, so they have more
Exactly.
opportunities. All right, yeah, I can see
I
it
didn't
there.
even think about that, but that's exactly where my brain was before my other brain cell decided to join in with it.
Number 4 on that list, Tyler, Joe Schobert. Don't even know who the fuck that guy is, but he plays for the Jaguars. So,
Actually, his wife's on TikTok. She's always on my For You page.
really, this dude looks like a fucking scrub. He's got the
He's got the Austin Cook haircut.
what? He's got Tyler Hayes, if anything. Trying to wisp that little.
The only thing he has
Dangly.
that's mine is that ass, though.
Listen, girls used to line up on the bleachers to watch me play modified baseball because of the way my ass looked in those baseball pants. God damn it!
Back in my day.
You done? Can we continue with the show?
Who's got a nicer ass? You decide.
Sure. We'll leave that up to the people at home. Maybe do an Instagram poll.
I mean, if you watched the pickleball game last week in my khakis.
It's inflation. He was wearing 3 pairs of underwear. I saw it. He was doing the TikTok challenge before that where they line up the underwear all down their legs. Can we move on? If we're gonna talk about asses on the No Look podcast, I'd say it would be some girl cheeks, but we're sitting over here talking about Tyler's.
I got some nice cheeks.
Listen, I'm not denying you have nice cheeks. All I'm saying is back in the day, I'm not even gonna get into it. Now,
Why are you living in the past? Doesn't Dana tell you about this? You need to live in the.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking pull a Dr. Dre and have a brain aneurysm. Jesus Christ.
Too soon.
Tough. He's home safe now. Come on, he's too rich to die. Tyler.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I saw that Complex article that he had a brain aneurysm. I was like, this dude's too rich to die.
Can we continue, please? Offensive Rookie of the Year. Justin Jefferson.
You think?
Can I elaborate on this, or are you just gonna say, okay? Thank you. Thank you for allowing me my time on this show that we co-host together. Thank you. I believe it is a close matchup between Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert, the year of the Justin, I suppose. But with that being said, Justin Jefferson, he's a Pro Bowler, right? That gets voted on by the players around the league. So for me, he's already proven himself. He broke, records that were standing for how many years by Randy Moss, a Hall of Famer. I just feel like from the standpoint of broken records, Pro Bowl, the numbers between the two are comparable in my opinion. I just feel like that gives him the slight edge over Herbert.
I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to go with Herbert. Dude passed the rookie record for most passing touchdowns. He also beat the Raiders, which means that he also beat the Chiefs, technically, if you think about it in the sixth sense.
Fuck. My fucking camera went out. God damn it.
I think Justin Herbert's just a better...
My cross-eye just...
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert's a better candidate for it. Quarterbacks always win. Although I do like you picking a wide receiver for the disparity of the award, I just think Justin Herbert really had a better year.
All right. Yeah, no, it's very debatable. I mean, you're probably right. I just kind of went out on a limb, which obviously took a lot for me, picking a Vikings player, but dude just balled out all year long. So
and to think you dropped him in like all your fantasy leagues.
I wasn't in it for the long haul, I guess. You can see how my patience is. Just got a little fed up. He wasn't doing much at the beginning of the year. I also had Adam Thielen in the one league, though. So it's like I can't rock both these guys consciously. I guess I could, but I feel like I couldn't morally.
You just can't trust Kirk Cousins. That guy is just disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, towards the end of the season, Jefferson played better than Thielen, so if I had to pick one, it probably would have been him.
Yeah.
But with that being said, moving on to the defensive rookie of the year, for me, hands down, Chase Young. I'm not sure how you feel.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Moving on for that. Coach of the year, Tyler. I'll pull up the list because you might not really have an idea, not like talking shit or anything, because I wouldn't have had an idea if I didn't look at this article.
That's for sure.
So the Sports Illustrated, they voted Kevin Stefanski with 29 points, Sean McDermott 27 points, and in third place with 21 points, probably biasly, the man I'm going to choose, Matt LaFleur. I know that we're talking about this year, Tyler, the 2020 season, which he did go 13-3. But if I'm going to say coach of the year, who's been year in, year out, obviously only his second season, but he's gone 13-3 in both of his first two seasons. Packers number one seed, I just feel like it's got to be Matt LaFleur.
I'm gonna go with Sean McDermott in this one. I just think that he had a great year last year too. I just think this year really showed what the Bills are capable of playing. They've had a pretty difficult schedule this season, but he brought in Stephon Diggs, balled out with him, brought out his. I think that's the biggest thing for Coach of the Year is bringing out the players. What's that word?
Charisma.
Not charisma. It's like this is where you should be.
Full potential.
Your full potential. Thank you. Sorry, had a brain fart. He really brought out everybody's full potential this year, and I think he's going to go deep into the playoffs. Personally, probably end up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs at some point. But I really like him as the coach of the year.
Okay. Tyler, do you know if you talk to Dan, is there someone on at 7 that we gotta cut right out for? All right. So a few more topics that I had down in my notes. Obviously, we kind of touched on it a little bit. Deshaun Watson, has he requested a trade, or just like he talked to his friend who tweeted out that he wants a trade, or was it like formally he went into the Texans front office? I guess I can pull it up.
I think it's a rumor at this point until Deshaun Watson goes into the office and requests a trade. That's all it will be. Honestly, I hope he does it. I think he lost a lot of trust in the Texans organization when they traded DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, that's your go-to guy, and getting rid of him, it's like, do they even like me here?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that was Bill O'Brien, though, and they made some changes. Obviously, tough video to see, just being a fan of football, with the J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson. J.J.'s like, oh, sorry, man, we wasted one of your years. That kind of sucks because it's true. Deshaun Watson, they were in the playoffs last year. Now this year, they're healthier, minus DeAndre Hopkins, I guess, which goes to show how much of an impact he has on a team. Yeah, so I'm looking, this is 9 hours ago, will Deshaun Watson ask for a trade? I guess it's all speculation at this point. I think he's kind of a guy that stands by his shield, if you will, his honor. I think he stays in Houston just because of the type of guy he is. But if he does go somewhere, my kind of out of left field pick for a team where he lands is the Carolina Panthers. I think the Teddy Bridgewater experiment has come and it has gone. It's not going to happen. But, I mean, in addition to that, just think of a team that has Deshaun Watson and Christian McCaffrey. I mean,
that would be unreal.
You got to think that's going to be a prosperous team for a long time. But what do you think on the topic? What do you think he does ask for a trade? I know you said you hope he does. Do you think he's playing for a different team next season?
I don't think he is. Although, like you said, I do wish he would. I think what's going to happen, they already brought in the GM. They got the guy from the Patriots that was their player personnel or something like that. So they've already brought in a GM. Now they're looking at a coach. I think if you get the right coach, to motivate Deshaun Watson, motivate the team, put some players around him, build around him. He's only like 24, 25. I think he's our age.
Yeah.
So he's still got a lot.
I'm 26. What are we talking about our age?
He's still got a lot of years left.
Yeah.
Get some good guys in the draft, although they will be further back because they traded with the Dolphins to get Laramie Tunsil. So I think he stays. If I had to pick a team that I want him to go to, like I aforementioned, I hope he goes to the Saints. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Deshaun Watson probably would be the best three-headed dragon in the NFL for years to come. Better than Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill.
Wow.
I said it.
That's quite the statement right there. He said it. He can't take it back. Talking about ages, brought up just a quick little shout out. Our friend Cody, it's his birthday today, who is also turning 26. Happy birthday, Cody. I think he's at Bentley's right now, gobbling down some bang bang boneless wings. Hopefully you go there for a birthday special. You say it's your birthday, and they'll give you, I think, as many wings as how old you're turning. So hopefully you got 26 free wings, Cody. You got that nice little mug that says, I went to Bentley's and got bent on my birthday, as many of us have gone there and done. So
I just strip club on mine.
Well, it's not bad either. Wings, strip club, they're kind of synonymous.
Honestly, wings at the strip club, finger licking good.
Okay, well, let's not get into that right now. Talking back to football, I got a little note here. Adam Gase out with the Jets. Today, Tyler, Marvin Lewis, the old Bengals coach, is interviewed with them. Do you think he's a good fit for them? Do you think he lands there? Are there better options? Obviously, I forget his name, but the Chiefs' offensive coordinator is a hot commodity. Enemy this offseason. What do you make of Marvin Lewis interviewing with the Jets?
I think it's disgusting. I think any team that goes after a coach that was in the NFL for a long time with no Super Bowl rings or any success, like Marvin Lewis, like most coaches that are getting interviews right now, I just think you just got to move past them. They've already tried them. They don't work. They're not good coaches. They're good coordinators. I think it's time to look for a young guy like every other team is doing. Find your Sean McVay, your Matt Rule, your Matt LaFleur. Find your guy that's going to be a staple for years to come, not just in the short term, but the long term. I think any team that interviews Marvin Lewis is a freaking idiot. You're stupid. You're dumb. You're almost as worse as the Raiders hiring John Gruden.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this, or maybe just within our smaller circle off stream. It's definitely a new era for coaching in the NFL. Obviously, you got Matt LaFleur, you got Mike Vrabel, you got Kyle Shanahan, Stefanski, Cliff Kingsbury, right, in Arizona. It's a new era, and it's proven to be successful. So I think, I hate to say it, but you got the Tomlins, you got the McCarthys, you got the Lewises, the Gruens. I just think that whole blueprint for coaching is yesterday, right? If I can't put it in layman's terms.
No, I agree 100%. That's exactly what I was about to say, is that the NFL is becoming more modern. It's going far away from, your traditional offenses. It's more RPOs. It's more, trick plays and, moving the defenses in different directions and trying to mastermind the other guy. It's more mind games,
Mm-hmm.
Players playing in different positions, like Darren Waller, a tight end, or Travis Kelce, a tight end that would traditionally be a wide receiver. That is something that's happened in the last 15 years that wasn't a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to look at guys that are young, that are offensive minded coaches. Marvin Lewis, like I said, any coach in the NFL that doesn't work out at one point was a great coordinator, and that's what they should be. Stick to what you're good at.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping track, but I think the Darren Waller counter is pretty high on this episode.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Derek Waller fanboy.
I can tell that.
Just like you're a Packers fanboy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you have something, Tyler, that you can be proud of for the Raiders. And if that's Darren Waller, then
Darren Waller and Nelson Aguilar.
right to you. Oh my goodness.
Definitely not Josh Jacobs. Shout out Josh Jacobs, you drunkard.
One
I
boy
don't know
got
if
a
you
little
saw.
too lit and hopped behind the wheel.
So they released a photo today. He had a freaking Harry Potter scar across the center of his forehead.
I didn't see that. I'll have to look it
Yeah.
up. Not sure if we can show that on stream.
I wouldn't.
Probably not. But so we talked a lot about the NFL, obviously. Now we're gonna touch a little bit on the college football. We got the playoffs going on. Alabama versus Ohio State. A lot of people wrote off Ohio State, saying Clemson was too much. Ohio State hasn't played enough. I think maybe you mentioned, Tyler, that or someone was saying that Ohio State maybe was more well rested after not playing as many games throughout the season as Clemson. But that's neither here nor there. They are in the championship game. Devonta Smith won the Heisman. Tyler, one thing before I guess we get into our predictions for the national championship game. There's some speculation, some rumors going around that maybe Trevor Lawrence tanked the game versus the Buckeyes to diminish his draft stock. Made Justin Fields look good, who obviously had a phenomenal game. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but I think 4 touchdowns, maybe 400 yards passing. Tyler, do you think there was any foul play on Trevor Lawrence to try to make Justin Fields look like the number 1 quarterback in this draft class?
I think it's all speculation. I think Ohio State just proved that they were a better team. I also think they had a lot more to play for. I don't know if you saw, but Dabo Swinney released the coaches' rankings of his own, and at Ohio State at 11, not even close to being in maybe the New Era Pinstripe Bowl or something like that, instead of the actual Rose Bowl game or whatever they were in. I think Justin Fields is a great quarterback. I don't think he's a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence in the future. It's definitely going to be tough, though, for Ohio State against Alabama. Justin Fields, where's he at health-wise? He got absolutely destroyed. Some say the grittiest college football player this season with the game that he put on against Clemson. So I'm going to roll Tide on this one for sure. I just think that offensively, Mac Smith, Devonta Smith, or is it Mac Smith? Mac Jones.
Mac
Jones.
Jones.
Devonta Smith.
Oh, I was like, who was he talking about?
Najee Harris. I just think their offense is just way too loaded. Obviously, Alabama defense always good. They're probably going to have 15 guys in the first round like they normally do again. But Ohio State, I hate them because I'm a Penn State homer.
Yeah.
Fuck Ohio State. Roll Tide.
Is that a new award for the college football season this year? Is the PFT Grit Award?
I think there should be a grit award in every single sport that you play. There's always one guy that is above the rest.
No, I agree. Listen, there's a lot of things that don't go on a stat sheet, which is, I feel like in football at least, the word grit is kind of synonymous with, getting those blocks, making the plays that aren't talked about or sung some high praise from. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. We're going to go into my prediction of this game. I, in contrast to you, Tyler, do enjoy the Ohio State Buckeyes. I would love to see them win, but it's not going to happen. It's all Alabama all the time. They're a dynasty, if you will, from Game of Thrones pronunciation, which I have also started watching again for the 12th time. That's neither here nor there, but I'm talking again, Tyler. I ramble a lot. I'm sorry. Alabama, Crimson Tide, Roll Tide. It's going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of. I don't know if I can say it. We on the stream in the stores. There's going to be a lot of cousin fornicating. So.
Oof. I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah. A lot of nuts are going to be cracked, and I'm not talking Buckeyes, baby.
Oh, shit. Tyler, as we speak his name and he appears, Cody in the chat, like the Schuylerville CD boy back in the day, what a bunch of grit. Cody, I'm not sure how long you've been tuned in for, but we did just give you a birthday shout out. I said I hope you're getting 26 free wings and the cup that says I got Ben at Bentley's on my birthday. So, but yeah, of course, opportune timing for Cody. Always late. We are on the ending portion of our episode. What, do you have anything else to talk about? We both got Alabama. I think we have a little bit of disparity on our playoff picks for this weekend. Not much else to talk about. I don't know. I'm not a huge NBA guy. How the Nets doing?
And Nets got the Sixers tonight. They're wearing their classic uniforms. Not so hot though, honestly. I think a lot of it has to do with, the team trying to still mesh together. Two stars, Kyrie, KD. But honestly, if I must say, the NBA this year, it's been phenomenal. The disparity across the league in talent, I mean, there's like not a clear-cut winner. Like even the Lakers are having a hard time winning against, random teams. So it's not like there's one team that's above the rest at the moment. So I guess it'll further break apart as time goes on.
Yeah, like I said, I don't watch a lot of NBA. I do keep up with it, see what guys and teams are doing. Tough to see Markelle Fultz go down. I mean, just after all the things that guy's gone through in his career, right? He got drafted. Was he the number 1 overall?
Yeah.
So got drafted number 1 overall. They say, oh, you can't shoot. You're terrible. They ship him down to Orlando. He starts playing pretty well. Maybe found a home. Goes down with a torn ACL. Praying for his speedy recovery. Cody, go Hawks. Oh, my goodness. Hey! Okay, so Hawks playing well this year. Nets playing well. The New York Knicks are playing pretty well, right? They beat the Bucks. I mean, Julius Randle, he's averaging over 20 points per game.
Julius Randle's averaging
Austin
double-double.
Rivers, I mean, he's I don't know. They're playing pretty well down in there in MSGT.
It's definitely a new leaf. Kind of exciting if you're a Knicks fan. Just give it some time. Maybe until like March or April is usually the time that they'll start breaking down.
Oh yeah, no, they'll be shot. There's no chance they make the playoffs. They might as well just start tanking now to get another lottery pick who pans out to be decent, and then they ship them to the Mavs. I don't know. But there's talking basketball. We have our picks for the college football championship. We have our picks for the playoffs. Any last words? Before we ship it off, I will be back at 9 for Thirsty Thursday. I'm not sure if Tyler will be as well.
I'm going to the gym
He's
to
going to the
pump
gym.
some weight off the old chest.
All right, he's doing chest day again. He's got to do chest day, off day, chest day. So
Exactly.
today is the chest day. Yeah, appreciate you
To
guys.
girls doing legs, chest day is to me of the girls doing legs.
I did a little back and by earlier. Got a nice pump going on. So
I did legs yesterday. Give me a chest day.
All right. Well earned, my friend. Well earned. With that being said, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here until next time. Weezy out.
Later.